name's Jenny, and we are back with Dixie Andelin Forsyth, and we're answering questions off of the YouTube channel. So, Dixie, I'm getting you some questions here. Okay.
Oh, I love questions.
Specifically, she says, I'm going to read, just give me a minute here. I got to read some of the beginning. I started reading the book, and it's really lovely, and I especially like the part in the beginning about women's inherent self-worth. So she's talking about Timeless,
Yes.
Dixie's new book, and that chapter on your limitless worth, my favorite chapter. She said, I would very much like if you made videos on the following topics. Helen Andelin says a woman should shed joy and that inner happiness is essential. How does a woman going through significant hardships in life continue to be joyful?
Is that the
I'm going to keep it. Is a burden for a man if his woman comes to him with emotional problems. How does one balance being authentic and being open about one's problems with also being radiant and joyful?
It's two different questions, right? The first one is that.
That's it.
Okay. The first one was about inner happiness. I think it comes down to understanding exactly what inner happiness means. It means more of feeling deep down of peace, no matter what you go through. Have you ever known anybody who has been through a lot of stuff? You get to know a person, and then you find out they've had a horrific life, and yet they don't seem bitter, they don't seem angry, they are kind, and they are teachable and understanding. And you think, how did they go through this and are still like this? That is deep inner happiness. It isn't that, because the way this world is set up, everybody gets beaten up. Every single person, even if it's the wealthiest, most powerful person you ever heard of, we all go through stuff. Lots of it. And some go through more than others. But, we all at some point have to experience death of a loved one, some kind of health issues. There's financial issues. I mean, we all know about this broad range of stuff. So the goal is not to eliminate those things. You can't do it. I mean, we'd probably all try if we could, but we can't.
Right.
So how is it that some people can go through those things and they have a sense of peace, is what I would call, which is also, you could say happiness equals you're always smiling all the time. Certainly we grieve when people die. We grieve at a lost relationship and things like that. You can grieve and you can experience, heaven forbid, somebody in your family committing suicide. That's one of the worst things that I think people have to deal with. And you can and you do not have to lose deep inner happiness, which is peace. And deep inner happiness allows you to not be bitter. It allows you to not be become angry at people and blaming, and allows you to shed joy around. You can still shed joy around, meaning that you can be, I interpret that as being kind to others, going out of your way, serving others. Those are all things that you can have. And the other part of the question that talks about
going to her husband and how she's supposed to vent, and who.
Well, most men are not that great at it. And I'm married to a professional, and he isn't always that great. He's great. He's great professionally. He's great professionally, but he's got a personal vested relationship with me, and so he often tries to go to fixing the problem, do this or do that, and really all I want to do is that. Sometimes with him, if I don't have anyone else to talk to because I can't, it's too personal or something, I'll say, I really need to vent about something. Could you listen for a little bit? Could I just vent to you? So he knows he doesn't have to come up with a solution.
I love that. That is,
he knows he's not attacked. He's not attacked. And then he thinks, okay, My task is, because men are task oriented, we know, his task is to listen. He doesn't have to solve it. He doesn't have to go beat anybody up or anything like that. He just has to say, oh my gosh, that must have been so hard.
Right.
Which is really what sometimes we want when we want to vent.
Or Dixie, you are right.
Or if we have a very close girlfriend or somebody that we can trust. Now, it has to be somebody. Don't ever vent about your husband.
No.
To somebody unless it's somebody that really, really trust, because it could, or a therapist or something like that, because
it will backfire.
Yeah, if you vent to anybody about anything to do with your husband, you want to make sure that they like your husband, that they don't think, boy, he's a bum.
I'm so grateful I have people like that in my life, because usually what ends up saying, you'll know this person when she says, now, Jeff wouldn't do that. This is probably what he means. How, because usually it's me taking it the wrong way, and I need my girlfriend to help me
know that Jeff is a good guy.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't have anything to complain about with Paul. So and even in the beginning of our marriage, when we were both a lot younger, a lot more immature, I don't know. I've always felt so.
Well, what about that one time you were talking to him about something serious, and he did the funniest thing?
Oh yeah, that was. I was talking to him about. I was the whole crying thing.
Upset, yeah.
And he pulled out his phone and he was looking at it, and I just thought, the nerve. He started doing this thing, but see, I knew that. Okay, this is so ridiculous.
How did you handle it?
I wasn't even, I said, what a nerve. I'm pouring my heart out to you, and you look at your darn phone. And he looked up, and he got this embarrassed smile on his face, and it all worked out good. But it was, and then he explained to me that I had already vented.
You said it a few times. So.
But sometimes, when we vent, we cycle. Yes, we need to sit. Yeah. It's like with grief. You kind of have to keep talking about it for a while for you to actually deal with it. It has to kind of come all out. And I think I'd said it like, okay, I get it. And then it was getting boring.
Wait, because you guys reenacted that for one of your classes, which is one of the greatest things about Dixie's classes that you can buy over on fascinatingwomanhood.com shop. And you guys reenact that moment. Yeah. It's precious.
And I'm not ashamed to talk about it or feel like I'm risking anything with Bob, because he was part of that.
Oh, he was so happy to help with that, because we all lived that scenario.
He's got good self-esteem, and I thought, oh, the nerve. It was so obvious that it was like such a girlishness moment that was just handed to me. And it was so ridiculous. It was easy to do it because it was just so ridiculous. And but so back to this question, we don't know your husband, and so we don't know his personality. If he can't handle the let me vent thing, it would be nice to find somebody that likes your husband. If it was about something else, fine. But if it's about anything to do with your husband, be extremely careful who you trust, because you don't want anyone to pass on stuff about your husband. It's just not. Yeah. It's not fair, and you don't want to do that.
Well, thank you so much. She'll be so excited that we answered her question. So we will be back. Everybody watching, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss a thing. We are going to be starting a podcast, so please send us more questions, and we will get to them. We're going to answer all of them.
Yeah, we're excited for the podcast because we don't have to see ourselves.
Yeah, we're tired of looking at ourselves and talking. All right, take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.